Testing 1, 2, check 2. Morning, everybody. Shooting a video this morning. Kind of had on my mind. You guys ever know any dock workers? I think they totally got it figured out. Because, like, you can put this low in the back of your neck over your ears. You know, once you start to work and you start to get hot, it's like you can just regulate your temperature. And if you're not a vain person, you can really do a good job just by pulling that up. And then if you're, want to do a little bit for the aesthetic, you can kind of fold that down, right? So I think that's why you see that kind of hat, because you can regulate your temperature. There's a good bit of advice. It's Saturday, which is Sabbath for Seventh-day Adventists and Jews. I'm not a religious person, but I've been reading a lot about what's going on and watching some old videos of Christopher Hitchens, and his comments on the rapture I think are spot on. SpiritForCityLimits.com, I put him up there. The Pharisees are in full swing trying to create a global conflict and roping in the Zionist community and the evangelical community into this hustle to cover up poor leadership. Couldn't get more creative than this. This is not good. This is the leadership, is to lead everyone into a democide or genocide and pandemics and stolen elections, and designing these systems to coincide with astronomical phenomenon. And for anybody who pays attention, has a decent memory and a decent IQ, it's all crazy, man. I mean, a lot of us spend our whole lives trying to hone and develop our discernment about these things, and then to have these operations that are going to draw in and needlessly kill possibly hundreds of thousands and millions of people, especially the young men in various nation states who are the ones most capable of standing up and opposing that terrible government practice. It's just, it's mind-numbing and mind-blowing that people fall for this, for those of us who have some kind of discernment about it all. Even members of my family, they're posting pictures of lions with stars of David on them, and they're cheerleading Israel, which is a nation state formed by the Rockefellers. That's also at SpiritForCityLimits.com. You can see that. I'm not picking a side. What I'm saying is back out, let that conflict happen, and let those people fight, because they want to fight, soldier on soldier. The minute I start to see civilians getting drawn in and murdered, that's when I'm going to blow the whistle. I'm not interested in that at all. But if two militaries want to willingly fight one another over reasons they view as legitimate, and they're not simply being false flagged into it, then as a foreign policy, I think the United States should deal with the winner. And the losers need to accept that they have to follow the rules of the conquering society. That's not the ideal. That's the practical. Sending our people over there to die when we have millions of people flooding across the southern border in a Reconquista replacement migration, Cloward and Piven strategy, is something that would incentivize normally healthy intellectual people to re-elect different leaders. But we tried that, didn't we? We tried that, and I believe it was an overwhelming majority for Donald Trump and the quote-unquote MAGA Republicans, who are called maggots, dehumanized. Trump supporters have been dehumanized, just like Hitler did prior to World War II's Nazi incursion. The dehumanization is a key component there. So just, when you start to find yourself calling a whole group of people fly larvae, and then in the following breath call them Nazis, you need to clean the schmutz off of your ideas, if that's you. Then there are just a lot of people who are seeking righteousness, who get pulled into the Zionist movement and don't realize that the churches have become a dashboard for recruitment to war. And these are, in my view, objective facts that get covered up by middle-tier intellectual managers who are just kind of in the tank and going along to get along, thinking they're going to survive. Nobody survives this if it continues. It's really a sad circumstance, but that's my thought here on this Saturday Sabbath morning for those of you who do practice. God bless you for seeking morality and righteousness and considering different points of view and being truly conservative, which means if you're a conservative buffalo, you don't just run with the stampede off the edge of the cliff. Look up the Vore buffalo jump. That's V-O-R-E, Vore buffalo jump, to see what I'm talking about there. I could go on and on about this, but I just wanted to, for those again who are practicing, happy Sabbath. And Sunday's coming around tomorrow. And so I hope you find peace, fulfillment, enlightenment, and discernment. This is John Dale. Have a great day.